Good morning. My name is Kim Samuel, and I'm very happy to be here today. I'm here to invite you to reimagine inclusion in the workplace as belonging in the workplace. Years ago, as a young mother with a young child, often traveling, usually telecommuting, I felt this profound yearning in my professional life. Yes, it was for inclusion. Yes, it was for equity. But it was also for something deeper. I felt so isolated. There is a word that expresses what I was really yearning: belonging. It's a word that we hear a lot in the public discourse, but it's a word that's rarely defined in clear terms. Over the past 2 decades, I've finally arrived at a definition. Belonging is connection to people, place, power, and purpose. Belonging is community, rootedness in a place, a feeling of ownership in shared outcomes, and a sense of shared mission. It's not just tolerance, it's care. It's not just collaboration, it's respect, recognition, and reciprocity. It means I honor your right to belong, just as I honor my own. The global coaching firm BetterUp recently found that employees who feel belonging experience a 56% improvement in job performance, as measured by a variety of metrics. It matters for the sake of our emotional well-being and our organizational effectiveness. Yet, we're systemically failing to build belonging in our workplaces. For humans, anyway. For robots, they look right at home, and that's a problem. Former U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy recently wrote a Harvard Business Review article declaring an epidemic of loneliness. We're seeing organizations apply practices like hot desking, where every day an employee winds up in a new location with only their portable possessions to take with them. No chance for meaningful connections, no chance of camaraderie, building new ideas, imagining together, or any possibility of mentorship. According to Gallup's recent State of the Global Workplace report, 85% of workers around the world are disengaged at work. This is especially so for people who have been historically and systemically marginalized: women, people of color, LGBT people, those with disabilities, older people, and individuals with mental health challenges. So, how can we think about building belonging at work? It comes down to those 4 P's: people, place, power, and purpose. And we can't rely on the company to do this for us any more than we can rely on the government to do for us. That's only part of it. We have to do this with and for each other. First, build connectedness among people. It's about meeting face to face. It's about feeling care. One North American bank was recently struggling with serious stress and burnout at its call centers. So they experimented. They aligned more team members' schedules so they would share regular 15-minute coffee breaks. It was a simple signal that the company wanted to prioritize team connection, and it boosted productivity by 20%. Of course, you can and should go deeper. You can organize activities for team members to share their personal stories and struggles. As leaders, you can cultivate cultures of connection and care. It's in simple practices like making eye contact, asking thoughtful questions, listening without judgment, and expressing gratitude. One of my heroes, the humanitarian physician Paul Farmer, emphasizes a management practice he calls the hermeneutic of generosity, which is a fancy way of saying, always give people the benefit of the doubt. Second, build connection to place. To feel belonging, we have to feel rooted. At its best, the workplace should feel like a sanctuary, a place you know deeply, where you can feel understood, where you don't have to wear masks. It's reason to give up on cost-saving strategies like hot desking and offshoring. We shouldn't treat people like movable parts. It's reason to invest in spaces where people feel safe and grounded. It's reason to invest in giving remote workers a center of gravity, opportunities to congregate in the same place for collaboration and bonding with the team. Third, building connection to power. To build belonging, everyone needs the opportunity to give and receive honest feedback, to be heard, and to have a hand in steering the direction of the organization. One powerful tool from the writer Daniel Coyle's book, The Culture Code, is to occasionally make the leader disappear. In other words, you switch into a temporary mode where there's no boss, and everyone has to take an equal part in managing the group's outcomes. Special Olympics International has pioneered the practice of unified leadership, to focus on training leaders with and without intellectual disabilities to lead the organization. It's about empowering everyone as a whole person by first seeing them as a whole person and seeing ourselves as a whole person too. Fourth, build connection to purpose. To belong, we need a sense of commitment that runs deeper than just earning a paycheck. We have to contemplate questions about what we really want. We have to connect with the sense of why, the underlying inspiration. We must ask ourselves, what do we value in our workplaces? What matters most? And invest here. Look at how great leaders are building purpose, like how New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern is making mental health a foundational issue in government. As the 2019 Edelman Trust Barometer underscores, feeling a sense of trust in employers is essential for inclusion. Having a positive shared purpose, call it a triple bottom line or a social mission, builds this sense of trust. This enables inclusion, which in turn enables belonging, which in turn enables true well-being and makes it real. That's how this works. So, as I contemplate what it was that I was yearning for over all those years as a working mother, it was inclusion, and it still is, and it was and still is also something more. Belonging, being fully seen, heard, recognized, and respected for my whole self and the gifts I bring, including empathy and kindness. And this is my wish for all of you. Let's work to reimagine inclusion in the workplace where everyone truly belongs. Thank you.